Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are once again on another Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's 1 a.m. in London and 3 a.m. in Israel, and it's 10 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Talk Back Live. That's where we are right here, and we're coming to you live from New York. That's where we're located. That's our stomping ground right there. And of course, we're going to be here for a whole full hour. And within this whole full hour, we got a lot to talk about. And we include you as the viewer to come in and join us because we're live. And of course, if you're here for the very first time, thank you so much for being along. We want to welcome you in. Now, we have a lot of people that have been with us from the beginning and all of this time. We couldn't thank you enough. I do that each week to make sure I get my thanks in, even though you might say, yeah, you said it before, but I'll keep on saying it. And now for you guys who are very new to this program, maybe you're here for the very first time. As the host of the show, we get things started by me opening up a conversation, getting things rolling as I'm doing right now. And while I'm doing that, at any time you want, even right this minute, if you have anything to say, why don't you just use your fingers on your keyboard on your computer or your cell phone or even your tablet, type it in. I'll see you right there on the big screen, and I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas. Why? Because that's what the show is all about. Free exchange of opinions and ideas. You have a lot of them. I know that. And that's why we want to hear them from you. And so within this hour, we've got a lot of things planned for you. So join us right now and sit back, relax. And just in case you're maybe, depending on your time zone, maybe having dinner right now, or maybe just finish up dinner, maybe you're just waking up, to get things started. Okay. There you go. So we'll have all of that for you coming in. Now, for those of you who are new, you ought to know that we come on 3 different platforms. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram as well. And any one of those 3 platforms will get you there, and you could be there watching us or however. And you can even watch us on the run on your phone. Isn't that nice? It's a lot of things that's happening. Technology is so good. We didn't always have it like that, but now that we have it, you can do it and watch it on the run. And tell your family and friends about it, okay? Because it's very important. Now, how you can do that, especially if you're watching us on Facebook, take the time right now to tag this show. You can tag this show right now to all of your friends right out there, wherever they're watching, and they see that notification coming up. It'll pop right up. They'll know it's coming from you. All they have to do is just click onto it, and it brings them directly to us or wherever platform they're watching. Okay, and that will bring them to us. And if they like what they see, if they like what they hear, of course, they'll come back again and again, just like you. And I hope that they do. And have them tell their friends about it. Just keep the word percolating, right? For those of you who are watching us on Instagram, you don't have to do anything special. All you have to just keep the word percolating. Let the family and friends know, your family, friends, and relatives know, and keep that going as well. For those of you who are watching us on YouTube, I always encourage you to go out and click onto our YouTube channel right there. Once you're on it, you're right there, and you can see where it says subscribe. All you have to do is just click onto it, and that's all it takes. And you become a subscribed member of this program. Now, we would love everyone to do that if you're watching, particularly if you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe. And if you haven't done it thus far and you've been here for a long time, this is the time to do it. What are you waiting for? It costs you nothing, and you won't miss a thing by doing it. It's just one little click, and that's it. And by the way, there's no charge or anything, no money. We don't ask for money or anything. It's just that you become a full-fledged member. And the reason why we want you to do that, because we want to keep track on how many people are actually with us, following us, and being on the show each week as they watch along. And the other reason is that it gives you opportunity now to know, since you have subscribed already, from here on, you'll get a chance to see that instant message will come on. Now, that instant message that I'm talking about is that whenever the show comes on live and you happen to be online and you forgot about the show, it reminds you. You'll get that instant message that pop up. And the only thing that you have to do is click onto that instant message and it brings you right to the YouTube channel and you could watch the show. You don't have to miss anything. So please, 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 whatever you do, subscribe to us. We really would appreciate that. I appreciate it more than anyone than you'll know. So get that done right away. It's very important to us. Okay, that's it. And right throughout the show, as I said, we've got a lot of things coming along, and in conjunction with everything that we do here. Right. One of the things that we do, we have our own little thing that we do within this particular hour. As a matter of fact, this particular half hour of the show, we're going to call on Brian Camp. Now, Brian Camp comes out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And Brian Camp is our sports guy, and he's going to come along and bring you the latest developments in today's world of sports. It's all on Sports Update. And of course, there's a lot of things to talk about. We already know that the football season is officially over. They're still talking about it even still. But now baseball is coming up. We still have the basketball season in, and that's on its last leg. But baseball season will be coming on pretty soon, and we'll be looking forward to that. And Brian will be telling you more about that later. All kinds of sports news coming up later on. And also, later on, we have This Day in History. Now, that's something that we do each week, too. And there's a few things that happened on this day in history. Here we are, February 20th. Now, February 20th, somewhere way back when, something historical happened. And we'll give you a list. I have a long laundry list of those things, too. And we'll tell you about that when that comes along, too. So you be ready for that. And before the show is over, I do what I do as before the show ends. I have movies. Yes, sir. Those classic movies, some Turner Classic Movies. And I bring them along to you because what I do is I want to add to your bucket list of what to watch this weekend. It's all about the weekend, which is coming up pretty soon. And if you're around on the weekend, you're doing whatever you do on the weekends, one of the things that you might want to do is catch up on some movies that you haven't seen in a long time. I do have some classic movies for you and great recommendations, what you could watch to put on your bucket list on what to watch. So stand by for all of that. That's coming up pretty soon. All right. That's all happening right here on Talk Back Live. And again, we thank you so much for being along with us. Now, one of the things I didn't mention too, I already told the people how they can tag their friends on Facebook, right? You can tag this show to your friends on Facebook. You can do something similar if you're watching us on YouTube and Instagram. And what that is, it's like almost like tagging. I guess you can call it tagging, but it's a little different. What you're doing is cutting and pasting the platform that you're watching us on right now. In this case, it would be Instagram and YouTube. All right, you cut and paste that platform, right? And when I mean cut and paste the platform, that's the link. Cut and paste that, create that, and then you send it to your friends, as many as you want. You know. Because the more the merrier. So we want you to do that right now. Do that for us. You won't miss the show. It's just a simple thing to do. Cut and paste, send it. That's all. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, yes, indeed, it is February, and we're halfway down the line of February. We're almost at the end of it. Now, of course, you know, this month of February, we only get, 28 days this year for February? 28 days. In the month of February. So this month has gone by really quick. And before you know it, we'll come up to March, and then we'll have March Madness, which is something Brian is going to talk about, I'm pretty sure, later on. That's next month, March Madness, all kinds of great sporting events coming along. And so we got all of those things coming along. And of course, you already know that also, we're not going to neglect to tell you the fact that this is the continuous Black History Month. All month long, we've been talking about it. Black History Month and all of those great people who have been watching us, all of these Black achievers that's been along, watching and waiting. So that's all coming along, and it's going to be all month long. And, you know, this month, of course, you know, we talk about our greatest Black achievers, and I get to pick out someone Now, past couple of weeks, we had two male Black achievers that we highlighted. Now it's time for the women. It's the women's turn because we did have some great women who have made big differences in the African American community throughout the years. And we're going to talk about this. And for this day and for this week's achiever, right, we're going to talk about going into music. We're going to talk about Sister Rosetta Thorpe. And those of you who don't know anything about her, so let me give you an education about her. She was an American singer, songwriter, and guitarist, and she gained popularity in the 1930s and 40s with her gospel recordings, categorizing by a unique mixture of gospel lyrics and electric guitar. She was the first great recording star of gospel music and was among the first gospel musicians to appeal to rhythm and blues and rock and roll audiences. Later, being referred to as the original soul sister and the godmother of rock and roll. And she influenced early rock and roll musicians such as Little Richard, Chuck Berry, Johnny Cash, Carl Perkins, Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, and also later guitarists such as Eric Clapton. And she was born March 20th, 1915, so she has a birthday coming up. We're going to remember her for that. 1950, and she died October 9th, 1973. So she is our pick of this week, the great achiever for African Americans on this day, on this month of Black History Month. That's Sister Rosetta Thorpe. Now, if you don't know anything about her, I just gave you a little bit of what she did. And being that I'm also doing the music thing as a disc jockey, I get to know who she is as well. But we want you to know her too. Now, I just gave you a little bit, a sample of what she was about. You can also Google her or go to the library and check it out. That's Sister Rosetta Thorpe. And that's our achiever of this week for Black History Month. Also this month, we've got things coming along, and this is not a celebration. All this is National Cancer Prevention Month. That's what we're into right now. Now, this is a very, very important subject, and, it spreads like wildfire. But, cancer is not like it was before. It's not a cure. There's no cure for it. But by golly, people are living with it. People are combating it, doing the very best they can with it. And people have survived it. And I'm one of the ones that can raise their hands about that. I know what it's all about too. And so when it says National Cancer Prevention Month, we want to prevent it. For those of you who are not under that umbrella or have never been diagnosed with cancer, well, we urge you to listen up and take heed to everything that's going on. Change your lifestyle, especially if you get older. You want to prevent all of the things that may cause cancer. Now, people contract cancer. That doesn't mean they did anything wrong. It's that it happens. Sometimes it happens as you get older. And it's not even about age anymore, because even younger people could contract cancer. But one of the things that we like to do is tell you about it, and you can research it for yourself. Don't take my word for it. I mean, I guess you can, being a survivor, but I would also like you to research it for yourself and talk to your doctor, your physician, and anyone that you know who have experienced cancer. Talk to them as well, and they can give you the dope on it. So that's what we got going for this February 20th, right? National Cancer Prevention Month for this month. You can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. You really can't do it. National Muffin Day. Did you have your muffin today? There's corn muffin, there's blueberry muffins, there's raspberry muffins, all kinds of muffins. My favorite muffin, although I didn't have it, I haven't had a muffin in a while, but my favorite muffin, I have two favorites, I gotta tell you. It's blueberry and banana crunch. Blueberry and banana crunch, delicious. Those are my two favorite. I mean, I like corn muffin too. Corn muffin is no different than just having a slice of cornbread, a nice little butter, that whole thing, But anyway, that's what it is today. You can't make it up. It's National Muffin Day. You know what else? Is also National Cherry Pie Day. Now, I'm not a cherry pie kind of guy. I mean, I'm bringing this out to you. This is what I picked up. We picked it up, you know. And if you like cherry pie, this is a good time to jump on the bandwagon and have a slice of cherry pie. And maybe a lot of you have already known that and went out and earlier today and got yourself a little cherry pie or something just to celebrate the idea of it being National Cherry Pie Day and, of course, your muffin day. So have your muffin and eat it too. You can, right? Have your muffin and eat it too. Okay. We want to thank you for being along with us. The name of the show is called Talk Back Live, and we're talking back live to you. We want you to stay with us for the entire hour, if you possibly can, because there's a lot to talk about. And speaking of talking, we talk sports as well. And coming up right now, in the wings right now, and he's coming out. We're going to rope him out right now. Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. If you have any sports related questions, please feel free. He has all the answers for you. And Brian, before you do sports, I got to thank you on one thing. I got to thank you for telling me about, and I'm going to do this later on too. It's going to be one of my recommendations as far as the movies go. But thanks for telling me about that Sly Stone documentary. I saw it. It was great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was great. That was, I remember as a kid in 1974 when we went to Madison Square Garden and we was seeing Sly get married. And as a snotty-nosed kid at the age of 12, I yelled at, "Mommy, what's that smell?" The only thing I remember, it got popped in the mouth.
Yeah.
And some of you don't know what I'm talking about, but
You
back
could say
no
it.
concerts, marijuana is being used a lot, and this is the night that was my very first concert. I'll never forget that at the age of 12, and
Yeah.
Sly Stone married his wife on stage and everything.
Yeah.
But that was a great documentary of Sly Stone and everything.
Yeah.
I was going to call you. I was going to ask you, did he have a baby by Cynthia?
Yes, he did.
He
Yes,
did.
she's all grown up now, and she was in the documentary. She was in it.
That's the
Maybe
one that played the trumpet, right?
yeah. Cynthia played the trumpet,
Okay.
and he had one baby by her, or she had one baby by him,
Okay.
whatever. Yeah, yeah. And but and they even showed the part that you were talking about the when they got married on stage. They even showed that, so that was great. I remember that the day afterwards because I remember I was working at a bank at the time, and I went back to work the day, and one of the guys um, that I worked with uh, pulled out the Daily News and said to me, "Is this you?" And he showed me a picture of the big crowd that was at Madison Square Garden, the Sly Stone on stage. And sure enough, he found me. I was out there. I was, but Sly Stone was a big influence on a lot of people in music. As you
Yeah.
already saw in the documentary, they showed that. And he was a big producer. He was a radio disc jockey, so he's been around a while. I mean, I even got caught up in the fever of Sly Stone. He kind of influenced me in a way,
Yeah.
uh, as far as his attire, because I used to love the way. I mean, I even dressed like him at one time, at one point, but not
Mhm.
as flamboyant as he was. Because he came out with all kinds of wild stuff, but I limit myself to the hat. I had the hat, the wool hat, cocked to the side of my face, covering almost one eye the way he did,
Mhm.
cigarette in hand, and high top boots. So I went to school that way when I was in college. I went to school
That's
that
right.
way.
That's
But
right.
I would never wear those. He wore all of those things, those fringes, those jackets, fringes, and all of those things.
And
But
I'll say this, and a lot of people don't remember Sly Stone, but for maybe a bit of the younger crowd, before Prince came along,
mhm,
Sly Stone,
yep,
so compatible with Sly play multiple instruments.
yep,
Um, he had a biracial band as well,
that's
like
right.
Prince did.
That's
Um,
right.
of course, Prince took it to another level. And I'm not going to say who's better than that and everything, but Prince did take it to another level. But before Prince, no doubt.
Yeah,
Sly Stone was there. He had a lot of influence, a lot of influence on a lot of the entertainers as well. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it brought back a lot of memories for me. I just remember, I just enjoy it, and they just don't. And I feel sorry in a way for the kids who enjoy music today. That was music. That was
Right.
music,
Yeah.
and music told a story. I'm not saying that the music today is not great, but I remember those guys. When they wrote songs, they wrote with feeling and messages. Like
Yeah.
Smokey Robinson and with the Temptations and all those. They sung songs, real songs, love songs, and political songs. It was
But
great.
I will never forget that night. I was 12 years old at Madison Square Garden, and it was the four of us, and I yelled out again, "Mommy, what is that smell?" And pop.
I think the reason why they were smoking marijuana in the theater like that is because I think it was for commemoration of Sly Stone because there was no question no secret about it, but he was into it.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
even more to it as it already depict. But later on in the show, I'm gonna, when I give out the movies, I'm gonna suggest the name of that movie. I'll give you the full name of that movie later on.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, again, good evening, good morning to a lot of you all out there, depending on where you are. I'd like to say happy birthday to Deb out there, Deb Small, and my her sister Jackie, who's out there. I'd like to say hello to them. These are my former Sunday school teachers and everything. I'm so proud of them, and I'm glad that they are tuning in. But good hello to everybody out there. I'm coming live from Charlotte, North Carolina, here where it was 28 degrees today, and the snow had stopped. It was snowing where they had to close the schools down. Yes, they had to close the schools down yesterday, and it was cold. It was windy. I had to go into the backyard to make sure that my smokers were right because the covers was like blowing them away and everything. But now that the snow is gone, it became sunny, and we okay out here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I just want to thank everybody for being safe, and thank you for your concerns checking on me as well. But let me get to sports. February 20th. On this day, Hall of Famer pitcher Christy Mathers become a president and owner of the Boston Braves. He bought the team for $300,000. 1929, Red Sox announced to play Sunday baseball games at Braves Field because they had to move because there was a church there, and they did not want to have the games at Fenway Park because there was a church there. Yeah, that was back in 1929. 1953, August A. Bush buys the St. Louis Cardinals from Fred Say for $3.75 million. 1958, LA Coliseums approves a 2-year pact allowing the Dodgers to use their facilities until Dodger Stadium will be completed. And it said 1963 Hall of Famer Willie Mays become the highest player, signing a $100,000 contract. 1986 LA Dodgers Oral Hershiser is the first to win a $41 million salary by arbitration. And 1997, Barry Bonds, San Francisco Giants signed a record 22.9 2-year contract. Birthdays today. Happy birthday to Charles Barkley, who was born in 1963, 11-time All-Star. You see him on TNT as a basketball analyst. He's born in Leeds, Alabama. 1966, Cindy Crawford, supermodel you said, now what does this have to do with sports? Well, I tell you, Cindy Crawford was a supermodel, and she used to take pictures for a Sports Illustrated swimsuit. The swimsuit usually comes out every February with the new models and coming out in their bathing suits and everything. So she was taken, that was her birthday today. She was born in DeKalb, Illinois, 1977. Stephon Marbury, NBA guard and Chinese Basketball Association guard, was born in Brooklyn, New York, in the Coney Island section of Brooklyn. And in 1983, happy birthday to Justin Verlander, Major League Baseball pitcher for the Astros, born in Maskin, Sebot, Virginia. Now, since we are still in Black History, we the first Thursday, February 6th, we spoke about the great Muhammad Ali. That's one of my heroes of all time in Black history. Last week we spoke about Tony Dungy. This week we're going to talk about the first African American to win a World Series as a manager. As February Black History Month will continue, there's no better time to celebrate both a great player and a manager. So when he played baseball, he was a great player and he was a great manager. His name was Cito Gaston, real name Clarence Gaston. But Gaston was the first black manager to win a World Series during its two-time with the Toronto Blue Jays. He won it back-to-back years. His dedication and loyalty and hard work with Major League Baseball showcased his skill set as both a player and manager. Gaston's Major League Baseball career as a player from 1967 to 1978 consisted of playing with the San Diego Padres, Atlanta Braves, and one season with the Pittsburgh Pirates. His dedication to the organization was also noted as he spent his whole manager career with them. His time spent as a Blue Jay was without question a highlight of his career. So today we salute Cito Gaston as being recognized as the first African American to manage a World Series. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports.
I maybe it's a little too early. You didn't mention it, but I know we're headed towards the end of this month and we're going into March. So you know what March means, right?
March Madness is going to, oh my goodness, that's one of my favorite times of the year where all college basketball is coming out. Baseball is like around the corner. The NBA season is coming down to an end. Uh, March Madness for those 2 to 3 weeks is going to be pandemonium. It's going to be crazy. But we're going to talk about that in the upcoming weeks because it's coming up soon. It ends in the first week in April, but March Madness is going to start soon. So get ready.
Yeah, there's a lot of things coming up too, and I can't wait for it, especially baseball. I think they're in spring training now, aren't they?
Pitchers and catchers report early. The players, the everyday players will come in like a week or two after that. But it's usually pitchers and catchers, which is voluntary, it's not demand. They show up first.
Yeah, and I believe that opening season is going to start. What, a couple of weeks, 2 weeks?
It usually starts in March. It usually is out of the country, and then
Yeah,
they would bring, and then like the rest of the teams are going to come in, and they're going to play in April, and then that's when it's going to be crazy. We don't want the Dodgers to win. We don't want the Dodgers to win. We want my San Francisco Giants to win. I'm thinking about taking a trip back to San Francisco too. Um, Maybe this summer. I don't know. Let's see what happens. But first things first.
well, San Francisco, and you already told me this yourself. You says San Francisco is like a really expensive town. How is expensive? How is San Francisco expensive compared to New York? Because it's damn expensive here.
Well, me and my wife, we went to San Francisco a couple of years ago, and for a hamburger at a baseball game was like $13 just for a hamburger. If you get the complete meal, it was like 19, $20. That was back then, so it's probably more now. San
Well,
Francisco is a beautiful city, but it's very expensive.
okay, then maybe it's not bad here in New York because I can get a cheeseburger deluxe for about 17. Well, how much you said burger cost over there?
At that time, it was
Yeah.
like 13, $14
Oh, okay. Well,
a
maybe I don't
burger.
know. Maybe we break eat just one burger. No
One
fries.
burger, no fries, no drink. Now, if you want to add the meal, then that's when they tacked on like $20 or so.
Okay. Well, here you can get a cheeseburger deluxe, maybe somewhere around $17. It's close to $20. So maybe we break even. I don't know.
Could
Maybe we,
be. It's
I don't
probably
know.
more now. It's probably more now.
Yeah, well, when this administration gets finished with us, man, we're going to be paying
Oh,
a lot of things through the nose. You know,
yeah, yeah, I know.
that's one of the things that wake me up in the middle of the night when I wake up, and then, a lot of people are afraid, about their Social Security and their pension and all of those things that keeps them afloat in life, for the necessities that they have to have, day to day and year to year. People are worried about that.
I
And
think that, over the years, we've been a resilient country where we could overcome these things regardless who's in office, who's president. We'll be fine. Um, we just got to just get through this here. And you got to have strong faith as well too, So,
yeah,
um, we can't let the president and his co-president, dictate to us about what's going to happen. A lot of strange things that happen. Airplane crashes
yeah,
and people losing jobs and everything. I'll say this without. I said I promise I'm going to get into politics. You vote for him, so don't complain about the firings. Nobody told you to vote for this man, and I'll leave it like that.
yeah. Well, no, well, and long live the king. That's what he said. Long live the king. He actually thinks he's a king.
Yeah,
Long live the king. Well, you know what he can do with that crown, right? I don't have to tell you about point
you have to tell him.
those spikes, those spiky crowns. You know what he can do with that crown.
Yeah, I
Turn the
know.
spikes up, though. That's what I said. Okay, are we gonna catch you back here tomorrow, or?
Yeah, you'll catch me here tomorrow. I might have to come on early. Um, maybe around 10 minutes to. I'll let you know in the morning. But yeah, I should be able to come on tomorrow.
All right. You let me know early. This way I can get arrange for it, things like that. All
Okay.
right. Good talking to you about sports and, of course, the Sly Stone movie. Thanks again. And I'll be talking about that Sly Stone movie later on before we close up. That'll be one of my picks and one of my recommendations for their weekend. Okay.
See you tomorrow.
All right.
Take care, everybody.
Take
Be
care.
safe.
All right. Be safe. Okay. As Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. He's here each week at this time. You already know that. And he comes along and with all of the latest. He'll be back tomorrow, as you already heard, on the coffee hour, which we'll tell you about that later on before we go off on where to go to the coffee hour. Of course, right here, but we'll tell you more about that later. I want to thank all the people who's joining us. I want to say hello to Mickey Jones out there coming out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh, North Carolina. That's where he's watching us. He's watching us right now on Instagram. And of course, we have other people who are watching us in different places, Instagram, and as I said, YouTube as well. They're all out there. And all of you, thank you so much for being along. And also I want to say hello to some of the people who are watching us on Facebook. See, hello to Jackie, Debbie, Mary. Jackie and Debbie out of Delaware, Mary from Brooklyn, New York. And thank all of you guys for being here. And for those of you who are coming in, feel free to say something. A lot of people, they come in and they just watch, and I can understand that a lot of people are not really that outgoing to actually want to talk, but we really appreciate that because what we want to do is acknowledge you personally. And so we want you to be part of it. You could be very, very comfortable here. We want to try to make that for you. Very, very comfortable here. Okay. I think, what do you think? I think it's about that time. Huh? He's like, what time? What time is it? What time is it? What do you mean, what time is it? It's about that time to go back in time on this day in history. And on this day in history, 1952, The African Queen, starring Humphrey Bogart and Katharine Hepburn, is released in the USA. On this day in history, in 1956, WOSU TV, Channel 34 in Columbus, Ohio, begins broadcasting. They're a PBS station. And back in 1962, John Glenn becomes the first American to orbit the Earth on aboard the Friendship 7. Back in 1974, ABC Records releases Pretzel Log. That's the third studio album by the rock band Steely Dan. It features the hits such as Ricky Don't Lose That Number. In 1991, the 33rd Grammy Awards Let's see. The Another Day in Paradise goes to Mariah Carey. In 1992, Ross Perot says he'll run for president. He said that live on the Larry King Show. In 2024, Beyonce is the first Black female artist to top Billboard's Hot Country Songs chart with a country single, Texas Hold'em. Okay, actor Sidney Poitier, it really chokes me up. Actor Sidney Poitier was born on this day in 1927, and he was born in Miami, Florida. He died January 6, 1922, at the age of 94 years old. Singer Nancy Wilson was born on this day in Chillicothe, Ohio, and she died in 2018. In 1946, actress Sandy Duncan was born in Henderson, Texas. She's 79 years old today. In 1947, actor Peter Strauss was born in New York City. He's 78 years old today. Patty Hearst was born February 20th today, 1954, in San Francisco, California. She's 71 today. Actor French Stewart from Third Rock from the Sun was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He's 61 years old today. Model Cindy Crawford, we already talked about her, right? She was born on this day in 1966 in, as Brian said, DeKalb, Illinois. And she's 59 years old today. Doesn't look a day over 21. But then again, there's ways to do that. I could look a day over 21 if I did the right things as she did. Ooh, makeup, face, well, no, I don't want to go there. Anyway, Rocker Kurt Cobain was born on this day in 1967 in Aberdeen, Washington, and he died April 5th, 1994, at the age of 27 years old from suicide. Comedian Trevor Noah was born on this day in 1984 in Johannesburg, South Africa. He's 41 years old today. Rihanna was born on this day in 1988. She was born in St. Michael's, Barbados. She's 37 years old today. In 1968, actor, comedian John Cleese weds actress, writer Connie Booth, and they got divorced in 1978 and 1989. Police violence victim Rodney King weds Crystal Lynette Waters. They got divorced in 1996. In 1998, actor David Carradine weds actress Marina Anderson in Hollywood. They got divorced in 2001. In 2016, TV personality and actress Casey Reinhardt weds Sean Brown in California. In 1974, Cher files for separation from her husband, Sonny Bono. In 2007, actress Carmen Electra divorces rocker David Navarro after less than 3 years of marriage. And abolitionist Frederick Douglass died on this day in 1895 at the age of 77 years old from a heart attack. He was born February 14th, 1818. And he was born in Maryland. That's Talbot County, Maryland. In 1972, journalist Walter Winchell dies at the age of 74. In 1992 as well, actor Dick York, he was the original Darren on Bewitched, and he dies of emphysema at the age of 63. In 2001, actress Rosemary DeCamp dies of pneumonia at the age of 90 years old. And 2005, actress Sandra Dee dies from kidney disease complications at the age of 62. General and U.S. Secretary of State Alex Haig dies on this day in 2010 at the age of 85 years old. He was born December 2nd, 1924, and he was born in Pennsylvania. And that's it for this day in history. And those of you who are joining us, thank you so much for being along with us. If you have any comments or suggestions and ideas about this show, maybe you want to talk about improving the show, like getting rid of the host, possibly we can help you out. I'm not going to entertain the thought of the idea, but hey, listen, whatever you want, we'll try, right? Or better yet, even if you have suggestions and ideas, all right? about the show, or maybe there's something you want to talk about, maybe events that you know of that you want to relate to us. Maybe you have a birthday coming up or mitzvah or whatever, a celebration or whatever it is, and you're too shy to talk about it on your own because you know you can do that here personally. You can do that here personally. But if you rather us to do it, we can do it for you. And even if it's just to say hi, that's good too. All you have to do is be proactive and join us by using my email address and my telephone number. I have those for you. So I'll give you my email address first. Email address is frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. And the telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Now, when you go online, all right, when you go online and you decide that you want to write us or call us, you can do it. Just do it, all right? And there's no problem. And you can keep the information I just gave you. Keep all of that information I just gave you, all right? Keep it wherever it makes you feel good, right? But I would suggest your electronical devices, such as your cell phone or your computers, because you carry those things everywhere you go anyway, right? You're not going to walk out of the house and forget it. You ever notice that when you walk out the house without your cell phone, you feel kind of naked? Well, it wasn't always that way because we didn't always have cell phones. We had those big, gigantic, big phones in the house. Back then they didn't call them landlines; they just called them house phones. You know, and that's the only form of communication that you had. And there was no email. We had to actually write letters and postcards and telegrams. All right, no more. But anyway, whatever you do, keep all that information with you, and we really would appreciate that. Again, let me give you that. Email address again is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled Allan. That's a very important detail because the name is spelled Allan. And you can spell it another way you want, but if you do, you won't get in touch with me. Prod is Prod. That's short for production. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number, once again, is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And we're talking back live to you and all of the people who are with us right now. We thank you for your input, your comments, your suggestions, your ideas, and we want you to keep that going. We really would appreciate that. And again, as I said at the top of the show, that since we have a little time left, very little time left before we go off, take the time right now to share the program. I mean, with the little time we have, you could also tag your friends. If you're watching us on Facebook, you can continue to tag your friends. You can tag them all, as many as you like. If not all, because I know you have a lot on your account. If not all, just a few. And they'll see the tag coming from you. All they have to do is click onto that tag, and it brings them right to us, and they can enjoy the show, and they can be part of the show. Now, you already know, you already discovered, not only can you talk to me or Brian, or you can talk to everyone that's already in here as well. All right, you pass information to each other or whatever it is, but please be nice to each other. That's all I ask. And again, too, I also mentioned that if you're watching us on YouTube. All right, we have a YouTube channel. Of course, we're on it right now. So, hello, YouTubers. Please take the time to subscribe to us. That'll give us a chance to know who's actually following us and how many people we have with us in our orbit. And then you can do that. Okay. And so all it takes is just one little click. Just drag your mouse over there where it says subscribe and click onto it, and boom, it's right there. You don't have to miss a thing. All right. And tell your family and friends to do the same thing. And those of you who are watching us on Instagram, like Mickey and a few others out there as well, you don't have to do anything special. Just keep the word going. Keep it percolating. Let them know, that we're out here. Let them know that crazy guy is out there. And you'll have a lot of laughs or whatever, And so it's better for me to make fun of myself than to have someone else to do it, because I can always say, I beat you to the punch. I already said it. So there. So there you have it. So please do that, all right? Let us know where you are. You know, so many things happen in New York. I don't know, Delaware out there, you're not having the problem. I'm pretty sure they're having their problems. Mary, you already know, you live in Brooklyn. You already know the problems we're having in New York. We all already heard that there were so many things going on with our mayor, Mayor Eric Adams. All right. And so we're talking local here. And this is just between me and Mary, right? Because we're New Yorkers. We're New Yorkers. Anyway, the latest thing on that is that the Governor Hochul decided that she was not going to relieve him of his duties as mayor. He's going to continue, but now he has a limited amount of power, you know. Uh, and so, what does this mean now? You know, because you have to have a mayor, you have to have people. She's making her selection. She's doing it right. They already had meetings in her office. I think yesterday, the day before yesterday, Reverend Al Sharpton. I think it was the day before yesterday. Reverend Al Sharpton, a few more um, distinguished people went to her office, and they talked to her. And so it was a hard thing for her to do, to make that decision. And that decision, it was not an easy decision. If she had decided, well, we're going to relieve him of his powers, that would have been the very first, because it's never been done before. They have never done that before. And so, and I don't think that she wanted to be the first one to do it. So we're going to see what happens at this particular point, how it goes. But a lot of people are really, New Yorkers were like really up in arms about it, about the way he handled things, the Trump thing going on, which everybody, oh, the king, long live the king. Long live the king. And, a lot of people, a lot of New Yorkers were really disappointed about it, saying that, he went up there to suck up to Trump. Uh, I guess maybe he was looking for a pardon or something, because of the fact that he had his political woes, or his I don't know, his legal woes, I should say. We already know about that, and that's one of the reasons why I guess he wanted to go up there and do that. I don't know. I don't think that's the proper way of doing it. It should be someone somewhere standing up. And do you notice now that everyone from from one city to the other, some people are resigning from their post. We had a couple of people, 4 people in the administration and the mayor's administration, all right, deputy mayors resigned from their post. Some people decided, well, something, I'm not going to play the game. I made an oath to the people of the city of New York, and I am not going to play politics. And so instead of doing that, they decided they were going to leave their post. The other thing, too, Mitch McConnell is now retiring. I think he's going to retire at the end of the year or beginning of next year or something like that. I can't remember when it was, but I think it's at the end of the year he's going to retire. And of course, we already know that this is the man who's responsible for what's happening right now, because it could have been we could have had all of this done a long time ago, guys. A long time ago. This could have been over a long time ago. With the court cases, with him in New York, with the situation that happened in New York and in Georgia and all of those other places where he was convicted, 34 counts, felon accounts. So now he has the name Mr. Felon, or whatever you want to call him. With all of that going on, they decided, well, we're gonna delay, and that's what happened. See, that's exactly what happened, and that's why we're in this mess today. Delay. It was the courts, between the courts and Mitch McDonald and the corrupt judges and all of those people. Delay. This could have been over a long time ago. A long time ago. And so now here we are. And now we've got this guy in office who have absolutely no guardrails. He can do he's above the law. Let's face it, everybody. He's above the law. He cannot be sentenced for anything. He's above it. He wanted it that way. He ran on that. And everybody heard about it. You heard about it. And that's why you went out to vote. Now, for those of you who didn't go out to vote, well, you didn't help. Those of you who did vote and you voted for him, you didn't help. And so now, how do you feel? Do you feel better about yourself after that? Do you? I don't think so. And if you do, well, I don't know. Um, so there's a lot of things going on, and it's not that you can predict a lot of things for what's coming up next because we don't know what's coming up next. The way they structure things is like, you have to wait day by day. It's like all you get is one day at a time, and that accounts for life as well. All you get is one day at a time. So every time you lay your head on your pillow, you're not going to know anything until you wake up the next morning. What happened? And things happen overnight. News happen overnight, and it's got to the point where a lot of us are really immune to a lot of the news that come up. We're not surprised. We get a little disappointed. We don't. We're not surprised at all. So these are the things that go down, and I am so totally sorry about that. Okay, so keep a prayer in your heart, in your mind, in your soul. Keep your fingers crossed, your toes crossed, keep your shoelaces crossed, or whatever you have to do. Because this thing is not over. We got 4 years of this madness, and quite frankly, I'm not a mind reader, and I don't predict things. But I will. I just have a feeling that this man is not going to make the whole 4 years for whatever reason. I don't think he's going to make the next 4 years because right now he's mentally out of it. He doesn't know at this particular point. He doesn't know anything what's going on. He's like kind of senile. He doesn't. He's accusing Biden for being senile, and he's senile and stuff. This guy doesn't even know Dick from Richard or Bob from Robert. You know, uh, but I just have a feeling, and I may be wrong. I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again. But I just have a feeling that he's not going to make the next four. He's not going to finish the next 4 years. I don't think so. Which is more scary because you know why? Now you got this guy, uh, DJ Vance, um, who's even worse, who knows nothing about nothing. And then you have and if he becomes, let's say for instance, DJ Vance becomes president of the United States. Let's say he does, right? You know, after Trump is gone, after the people wrap him up in straitjackets or whatever it is and take him away, and JD Vance comes in, right? Um, he doesn't know anything about it because now he has to deal with Elon Musk, who they say is the richest man on the planet. Okay, uh, I'm not impressed by that. Rich people have their problems too. Uh, so much money he doesn't know what to do with, except for hurt people. All right, so he has that. So we've got a lot of things to contend with, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of things for this country. And I may be talking things that maybe some other people might disagree with me, but that's okay too. That's what the country is all about. It's just because if someone disagrees with you, they disagree with you. It's not like you want to get your tongue cut out. Even though they may be trying to go that route, but who knows? Who knows? You know, if anyone agrees with me or disagrees with me, you can let me know. I don't care. Fine. I'm not going to get angry at you because I love when people, give me their feedback. You know. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to talk about, and I think this is going to be the last time I'm going to talk about this for this last week. We're going to be talking about this. You heard me talk about it last week about the some of the companies that have retreated from DEI. You know about that, right? And these are some of the companies, by the way, and I'm going to say this very quick because I move on. These are some of the companies that had that won't adhere to hiring females, blacks, and other minorities, right? And here are some of the ones. So spend your money wisely, all right? This is a list of the people who have retreated from DEI. Listen very carefully. We have Target. You like Target, right? You got Target. You have the Meta platform, which is what we're on right now on Facebook and Instagram. All right, that's Meta. All right, Amazon. Everybody shops Amazon. McDonald's. I don't eat McDonald's anyway. Walmart. Never been there. Ford, never drove one. Lowe's, never been there. Harley Davidson, don't ride motorcycles or any of their products. Brown Foreman, who are the parents of the Jack Daniels industry. All right, I'll skip along to that. I have to think about that one. John Deere Tractor Supply, and listen to this. Investments from Goldman Sachs confirmed that it was dropping the requirement that forced IPO clients to include women and members of the minority group on their board of directors. All right, loud and clear. Told you loud and clear. And last but not least, Google. All right. In the past, I've also boycotted a few places, and I don't know if they still support this man or not, or whatever it is. But these are the ones that I kicked out of my orbit and I don't support anymore. Home Depot, Taco Bell's, I don't eat them anyway. Wendy's, I don't eat them anyway. Nathan's, I grew up on in Coney Island. Boycott them. I don't eat their products. And besides, they're not as good as they used to be anyway. So those are the ones. So be very careful if you decide, well, before you decide to invest your money in these places where they may not hire you, they don't even care about you. Think about that. Got those movies. I'm going to do it right quick. This week, I have one, two, three, four. I have six. I have six this week. And yeah, and let's see, four of them are from Turner Classic Movies. Let's get going right now. 1951, Born Yesterday with Judy Holliday, Broderick Crawford, and William Holden. That's on Turner Classic Movies this Friday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Some Like It Hot from 1959, Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, and Jack Lemmon on Turner Classic Movies. That's Friday, 11:30 p.m. Eastern. Cat on a Hot Tin Roof from 1958. Elizabeth Taylor, Paul Newman, and Burl Ives. That's on Turner Classic Movies. That's on Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? One of my favorites from 1967. Spencer Tracy, Sidney Poitier, and Katharine Hepburn. It's on Turner Classic Movies at 4 p.m. Eastern. And now I have two that I want to recommend to you for Black History Month. Okay, the first one is called Sly Lives, aka Burden of Black Genius. That's the name of the Brian and I were just talking about, right? It's a great documentary. It's on Hulu. You have Hulu, check it out. It's called Sly Lives, aka Burden of Black Geniuses. It took me back a long time. And here's another one that I want you to watch on Netflix. This is called Blood Brothers, Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali. Brian, you like Muhammad Ali, but this is a great documentary. I think it's, how many parts? I think there were, I don't know if I can't remember if it was a miniseries or they're down in parts, but check it out. It's called Blood Brothers, Malcolm X, and Muhammad Ali, and that's on Netflix. And those of you who are going to Turner Classic Movies, go there, scroll down, because you may find other movies that I didn't mention. I only have these for my picks of the week. And you could put those on your list and watch them in real time as well. If not, you can record them, DVR them, and watch them later. And of course, there are great sporting events, and you have other children program and sporting events and documentaries, a whole 9 yards right there. Okay, so Born Yesterday, Judy Holliday, Broderick Crawford, William Holden, Turner Classic Movie Friday at 9:30 p.m. Some Like It Hot, Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon, and that's Turner Classic Movie Friday, 11:30 p.m. Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Elizabeth Taylor, Paul Newman, and Burl Ives. Turner Classic Movie Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Spencer Tracy, Sidney Poitier, Katharine Hepburn. Turner Classic Movies Sunday at 4:30 p.m. And on Hulu, Sly Lives, aka Burden of Black Genius, and on Netflix, Blood Brothers, Malcolm X, and Muhammad Ali. I hope you get a chance to watch these programs. They're great. If I didn't know anything about it, I wouldn't tell you about it, but I saw them all. So check them out if you like, and let me know how you do. Put a note on my desk. and let me know how you like it. All right. That's going to wrap it up for me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to return tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for the coffee hour. And Brian Camp is going to be with me, and he's going to bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports. I hope you will be here too. Other than that, you could meet me back here on next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live. And Brian Camp will be with me, and I hope that you will be with me as well. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a wonderful, wonderful morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allen. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.